hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I just want to know, Hillary, when they finally arrest me with all the pedophile shit I do, how does a brother survive jail without being Epsteined?
Well, since you have a lot of shit on us, we're probably going to get you Epsteined as soon as you go to sleep. But hey, at least you won't have to shower, am I right? So anyway, enjoy your last meal, Puffy.
What a nasty, nasty way to find out that your BM is Diddy's sex worker. These chicks out here have gone way too far. Now, in a lawsuit that Lil Rod filed in February, he accuses Young Miami and also Daphne Joy of being Diddy's sex workers. According to the lawsuit, Diddy would brag to Lil Rod about how he'd paid Daphne, the City Girls rapper Young Miami, and also another woman named Jade a monthly stipend in exchange for sex. Now, if you guys don't
Daphne Joy is 50 Cent's baby mother. Yeah, there they go right there.
know, Daphne is 50 Cent's baby mama. Pictures were floating around sometime last year of Diddy and Daphne, and 50 actually commented on those pictures. We've all seen 50 go so hard at Diddy the last couple of months, and now it's finally starting to make sense why the guy is so angry at Diddy. Obviously this amongst other things, but looks like 50 found out the same way that we all just found out. Now 50 reacted to the news saying, "I didn't know you was a sex worker, you little sex worker. Yo, this shit is a movie." And then he goes on to say, "Hey, I'm an entertainer. What do you do for a living, baby? Stop lying, you little sex worker." Now, I think for 50, this is more embarrassing having the mother of your son be a sex worker for Diddy, especially being as well respected as 50 is in the game. The chicks that you wife up, the chicks that you have kids with, they're not supposed to be accessible to anybody else. But this is why when you're having kids with somebody, make sure they're not in the industry. Make sure they're not near any rappers. I know you rappers love to rotate the same 10 girls, and I hope you see the outcome of what could possibly happen.
The irony of this is sort of what 50 Cent did to Rick Ross back in the day, finding an S-tape of his baby mother and then posting it all over the internet, as he narrated over it by a character that he created called Pimpin' Curly.
I'm gonna tell you, motherfuckers out there talking behind my back, man. Yeah. Yeah, he said a motherfucker down south calling me Curly. Can you believe this shit after all I done for these motherfuckers? Yeah. Officer motherfucking Ricky, nigga, when I catch you.
Can't play the rest of this on YouTube. He actually pulls out a knife. But I definitely agree. 50 going raw daddy in this industry thought pocket, right? Like that's men ignoring red flags into the past, and you're going raw in them. You produce a baby with them. And now because of the early on trolling in 50's career, Diddy hires her to be his personal servant. That's a crazy level of petty. 50 is petty publicly. Apparently Diddy was petty privately.
Now, as for Young Miami, it kind of makes sense why JT kind of went solo. Pretty sure JT found out all this bullshit was going on and she separated herself.
I know what it is. How you feeling? Where you know me from?
I don't know.
You don't remember? We went on, where did we go? We went on a trip. You remember where we went? No, it was like a group of us. I can't remember.
I know you. That's where I know you from. I know.
Where? You remember now? Oh, okay.
You got some visitors, dog. Let's get up on that.
All right. Well, now we're here. Girl, that was not what I was trying to talk about. Did you know do you know it's the 50th day of hip hop today?
No.
Me neither. They told me to talk about it. I don't know why. Okay. Anyway. Okay, here's my question. Oh, okay. When's the last time y'all let a broke dude hit?
Never.
Probably like 2014.
How many years ago was that?
I don't know.
What's the math on it? 2014, 2023. 5, 6, I don't know.
Math teachers.
And what do you do if you're Young Miami? What do you come back as? You can't come back into music now, can you? What do you even say to your fans to explain why you're listed as one of Diddy's sex workers? Everybody thought their relationship was real. Everybody started calling them relationship goals. And that is exactly why you should never idolize these celebrities and their relationships. More times they're not. It's some weird shit going on and it's fake.
I remember like a year and a half ago, maybe it was even 2 years ago, that this young city girl woman came out with Carisha Please on the Revolt Network. And I forced myself to watch it, and the only thing I came out with is that it's crazy that the most untalented people are put up on top. But you're beginning to see the construction that those with the most money allow to happen if you follow what it is that they say to do. They can put you in those positions to push you in front of the masses. All of the young women that would idolize the city girls, how do y'all feel right now? Like, I understand that the accusations are all alleged, but how is it that y'all feel? Talking about catching golden showers from Diddy, and y'all continue to praise this nasty young woman. Absurd.
So I'm addressing this comment. A woman asked black men, what can she do to fix the state of the relationships in the black community?
That's a good question.
So this guy replies with, all I hear over and over is how black women don't need black men, how better off they are without them. And you really can't blame black women for feeling that way if the majority of your demographic is going around running through women and then calling them ran through. You're going around making babies all over the place and then blaming women for that.
That's actually not true. It's a common misconception generally hurled over at black men as if black men are the only race of people that are doing this to black women, or that black men just can't control their D's and most of them have babies, creating single mothers. Let's actually go over the numbers. I actually pulled this from the CDC. You'll see the National Health Statistics report back in January of 2023. Let's go down and read. And these are the results of ever having a biological child. Let's read. The percentage of Hispanic men, regardless of nativity status, who have ever fathered a child is 50%. This was higher than non-Hispanic white and non-Hispanic Asian men at 44 and 35% respectively, and was similar to the percentages for non-Hispanic black men at 46%. Let me repeat it because this is extremely important for this argument, because I'm tired of having to go over this bullshit again. That is 46% of non-Hispanic black men are walking around childless, which is only 2% more than their non-Hispanic white counterparts. But these lies, often levied by these condescending, hurt, and angry black women, seem to focus in on how all of these men are creating all of these babies, irrespective of, on the flip side, of how many of these women are opening their legs up to these very same men. But those numbers are actually here as well. Let's review. Non-Hispanic black women at 61% had ever had a biological child, followed by non-Hispanic white at 54.6% and the non-Hispanic Asian at 47.9%. Notice the differences between this 61% and then the 46% from black men, which would lead you to the mathematical conclusion that many of these women are having babies with the same exact man. So why is it that the mantra is that all of these men are making all of these damn babies without a focus on the women opening their legs to the same exact man time and time again? There are more women walking around with children than there are men walking around with children. The math just don't add up.
You're not present, and then you're blaming white people for that. So you have every excuse in the book as to why you cannot show up and be present for your kids as well as the women that you make them with. And then you're really surprised as to why we're saying we don't need your black ass. And then to make matters worse and to add insult to injury, you completely destroyed the black community by hopping around from home to home, spreading your sperm all over the place, not being accountable for anything that you're doing. And then you have the nerve to brag and say, oh, I'm going overseas to find me a woman.
You can never have a legit conversation with women like this if it's not just for a podcast where I can put you in front of me, we can have this conversations, and I can just make you look like a fool. And, you know, I can increase the amount of eyes, my reach, my engagement, but I really don't want to do that because although it would make my bank account look fantastic, there's really not as much value of sunning you in front of your face as the way that I can do right now, because your thoughts are just so small-minded, so smooth-brained, so insignificant, and they're just chirps of victimhood crying that come from below the bleachers from the kids that ride the short bus and wear the dunce hats. This is absolutely pathetic logic and reasoning, and to think that perhaps you are raising a young child with this degree of logic actually vehemently scares me. I just hope that it's not a young boy. I think that she could do a lot more damage to a young boy than she can ever do to a young girl just from hearing her condescending language in regards to men.
Really? So you fuck up everybody you come into contact with in the States, and now that you finally ready to settle down and everybody is pissed off at y'all, then your response, instead of fixing the shit at home, you want to run overseas to a bunch of chicks who ain't used to your damn tactics or didn't have to experience what you put black women through here in the States.
Hurt people just try to hurt people. That's what I'm trying to get across right here. She's a hurt person.
It's bullshit. And on top of that, if you want a woman to need you, accept accountability.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Without blaming her, without blaming systematic racism, without blaming your parents or anybody else. Everything rises and falls on leadership.
You know, she actually has a point right here. I don't like people that just force blame, a lot of which they just need to take accountability for. But it's like she has a correct solution to the incorrect prescription. And that's what I'm really trying to help her understand. Because this is like trying to go in a doctor's office with a broken leg and then he instead puts a Band-Aid on your elbow, right? You're fixing the incorrect issue. You're focused on the wrong issue. So how could you really come to a solution if you're focused on the wrong problems to solve?
And leaders do not make excuses or blame their subordinates for why they chose to do something. So if you want respect as a black man, then you need to be in a leadership position and you need to look at things from a solution-minded mindset.
It's interesting she's saying subordinate. So you're saying black women are subordinates to black men?
Versus oh, well, she let me. Oh, well, man only gonna do what you allow. No, motherfucker. You want to be the leader, but y'all don't want none of the fucking accountability that comes with leadership. And that is why so many women have either divested, we've become lesbians, or we just decided to just stay fucking single because we literally, like mentally and emotionally, cannot deal with y'all asses and y'all fuckery. Y'all mind fuck the shit out of people and then play like victims.
To think that someone can make you so angry that you switch your sexuality is profound. Shit like that don't happen to men. You know what I'm saying? You get a couple of bad relationships from a chick, you're then not thinking taking one in the poop chute. But that's the psychological horror that women that are like this and think like this, I guess they have to live in. And side note, could you ever imagine being in a relationship with a serpent demon tongue as vicious and as violent as what this is? The sign language would be so incredibly strong. And I feel sorry for young brothers that have actually chosen to marry women like this, because these are the ones that are dealing with a happy wife, happy life situation. They're so beat up from this woman that their logical choice is to just remain quiet as she just spouts off her bullshit because it's cheaper to keep her, because they know that what damage that she can do to his life or his family if she chooses to, you know, it's just, you're looking at this, black love is no more. Yeah, I mean, look at the way, look at the way that you're thinking about this. No man in his right man would try to give love to you personally. Ma'am, everything regarding your estimation of men is just so negative. But it obviously comes from a place of hurt, probably failed relationship after failed relationship. But you need therapy. I really think that you need help for the way that you prescribe the opposite sex, because the trajectory that you're on, you're going to live a very lonely and unhappy life. Godspeed to you.
The more you build a man, the more you open his options for other women.
I'm trying to transform into letting him go. I'm scarred and bitter. I don't trust nobody at this point. It's a double negative. You don't trust anybody.
Okay. But when a man builds a woman, the opposite happens. Okay. So if he set the bar so high.
She making sure she get that Rolls Royce logo up in that video, ain't she?
Right. We're providing for you, spoiling you, taking you on vacations, you know, just being your full provider and protector. If a woman did a man like that wrong, the chances of her finding another man like that is slim to none.
Right, yeah.
That's why there's no risk involved when a man builds a woman. When he invests in a woman, when he spoils a woman, there's no risk.
No. There is risk. There's a time risk, right? Because if a man is investing into you, that investment is going to be along a time horizon. We know that men are aging like fine wine as long as they're taking care of themselves and building degrees of their masculinity, building degrees of their financial fitness, right? To be stronger purchasers, be more generous into the future. But the woman at that time is gaining time, gaining age, hitting the wall. So there is risk.
And doing that because you set the bar so high that if another man will try to come in and replace you, he will fail at it. Money gives men access to women that they would have never been able to pull had they been broke. Rick Ross, look at the women he was able to pull. Rod Wave, look at his baby mama. You think if he was broke and had no money, you think he'll be able to pull a woman like that? Look at Chris Rock, Kevin Hart. He's short. Look at his wife. Look at the woman he's able to pull, right? It ain't because they look good. It ain't because they tall, handsome, and fine, right? It's the money that gives them access to those type of women.
Sure.
Who Jay-Z married to? It wasn't his looks that pulled Beyonce, okay? Look at Biggie Smalls when he was alive and he had pulled Faith Evans. Baby, back then in the 80s and 90s, Faith Evans was beautiful.
Yeah.
She was that girl. Yeah, look how he was able to pull her. It wasn't his looks, okay? Even though you may laugh and be like, yeah, they ain't fine. But these are 1% men, right? Who are rich. Look at Country Wayne. This man has 10 kids. And women was in the comment section when he did an interview talking about, that's the type of man I need. This man got 10 kids.
Right, they don't give a shit.
But because he has money, a lot of women don't care about a man's past. They don't care that he created a whole bunch of broken homes.
But that man is going to care about her past.
They care about his future, right? But see, men, they care about a woman's past. That's why you don't give your prime years and your wound up to Pookie and Ray Ray.
True.
Who can't provide for you and love you.
Not a
you
damn
build a
thing.
man, just know that you are increasing his market value in the dating world. And the opposite has happened with you because, see, the chances of a man running into a woman who got her life together, her own money, her own car, her own crib, her own motion is a lot higher than a woman running into a man who's doing better than her. The probability, I'm not talking about exceptions to the rules. There's always an exception to the rule, but the probability of you running into a man doing better than you is rare. Okay? So in the chances of a man running into a woman who's doing better than him is higher. He has a better chance finding a good woman.
Some things that she's saying is true, but she mixes it in with a lot of bullshit. Men on average make more money than women on average due to the career paths that they're selecting, the amount of hours that they're working, so forth and so on. So it's more likely for women to be running into men that are doing financially better than them. The issue is that many women don't look towards what is doing slightly better than me. They look to a high value man. But if you're talking about women running into high value men, then yeah, I can then agree with you. But that's the issue, is that many women forego the average earning man, even if the average earning man is doing better than her, which is a large component of the issue.
For you men who get in the comments and say, I want a loyal woman who was with me through my struggle days. And my question to you is, why are you looking for love while you struggling? That's number one. Number two, y'all know what happened when y'all make it? Y'all choose the woman who was at the finish line the entire time. You leave the woman who invested in you, who took care of you, who fed you, who loved you when you had nothing. You leave her behind and you choose the woman who was at the finish line the entire time. So that's why I tell women, don't build no man, because pick-me's never get picked. They are always overlooked. So women, you got to ask yourself, are you going to be the woman out of his league, or are you going to be the dream girl? Those are two different type of women. Let me know in the comments. Come on, let me know. Are you the dream girl? Most men will never reach their prime years because your prime is when you got money.
The more that I listen to this, the more that I'm going to understand her mindset. She has a broke woman mindset, and she's pushing this dream girl ideal with her filters and makeup on with the Rolls Royce thing into the background, more than likely because she's selling this idea to women of how to be, I guess, more like her. My thing is that you can be the dream girl that also helps him to become his best versions of himself, or supports him rather than help. Help, I think, has too many odd connotations. But fact is, men of substance and value are ensuring, hopefully they're ensuring, that the girl that's at the finish line or is giving him the time of day now understands what her true value actually is, and also understands the transactional value that you represent to that woman. So in reality, you can make choices into the future to protect yourself, such as getting a prenup, or maybe not even getting married to a woman like that at all. And then also ensuring that of the words that she is saying, of how she wants to support you, protect you, how she'll do anything for you, how is that in reality matching her actions? How is she acting towards you when her back is up against the wall? See, a chick that wades through the river with you has a lot more data and evidence to support her behavior, what she will actually be like into the future. So for the women out there that listen to content like this, of these false prophets selling you a dream, just be very mindful for the way that men actually think about things, not this contrived bullshit that she's making up and slapping some IG highlights on to sell product to you.
Because that's his currency in the dating world. If he ain't got no money, he not valuable in the dating world. Okay? A woman's currency is her beauty. So most men would never experience those type of options in his lifetime the way a woman will. So yeah, they hit the wall too. There was a study done on a man who was 35 years old. And he went on a dating app and he had only 2 women that was interested in him. Then it was a woman who was 35 years old, multiple kids, and she had multiple matches, men who wanted to date her. Yeah, so when they try to tell you women at 35, we're washed up, we're leftovers, I'm telling you, they hit a wall too. If you ain't got the money, these young girls are not trying to date you because they love you. They want providers and protectors. So if you stingy with your money, if you're not trying to spend on her, you're not going to have options like that. See, when a man is leading with his looks, he's leading from a feminine place. And when a woman is leading with her money and her accomplishments and her degrees, she's leading from a masculine place. So it's all backwards. Your currency is your beauty as a woman. Prioritize beauty and fitness. Yeah, you need to have your own money. Yeah, you need to have your own motion, because if you give somebody the power to feed you, you'll give them the power to starve you, and we ain't doing that. But you ain't getting no money and building no man with it. That's what you not going to do with your money. You going to get your money and you going to take yourself on trips and love on yourself. And he going to have to meet you at that level, or he got to find somebody he going to have to date down. Period. So y'all let me know in the comments. Are you the dream girl? Or are you the woman out of his league? Let me know. Come on, let me know.
Yeah, I'll let you know something, ma'am. Again, a lot of things that you're saying are true. A lot of them are not true. What I notice content creators like this tend to do is that they'll create kind of imaginary fixtures. In this case, one is a pick-me girl, which in her community of audience is extremely negative. And then the other one being the dream girl. So of course, would you rather be a pick-misha or would you rather be a dream girl? It makes sense which you would probably be on the side of the fence of. And of course, they'll generally have products or courses that will sell you on how to be a dream girl, or products or courses that'll teach you how not to be the other girl. I think it's a really brilliant way in order to galvanize an audience within your niche to form revenue in your direction. But when I hear long form them beginning to speak, I begin to understand why there's so many women out there that are so damn misguided. Questions, comments, concerns. Y'all already know what to do. Me, tutorialsandreviews@gmail.com. Guys, write me some comments down below. Let me know what you think about the video here today, all right? Until next time, YouTube. Peace.
You don't wanna see me get vexed. Bars on your phone, tell a man you can't jack. The big the ones who can't stretch. Breaking the neck when we in the car next. You don't wanna see me get vexed. Bars on your phone, tell a man you can't jack. The big guy, the ones who can't stretch. Breaking the neck when we in the car next. That bar, need defibrillation ASAP. Get boxed with a straight guy. And remind